can talk about the high line, we can talk about the injuries and whatnot. I feel like we usually say it's just a Spurs thing, but I think it's very reductive to say that. I think there's a huge mentality problem with a lot of players in your team.
The problem when it comes to mentality at Tottenham is, ever since I've been a Tottenham fan of nearly 30 years now, is that we've always been first and foremost a selling club. And the problem with being a selling club is you never really possess any real amount of winners within your side at any given moment in time, because players may have that desire to win things within them, but they realise at some point they're not going to do it at Tottenham, and people attach all blame to Daniel Levy, but it existed before Daniel Levy. As I say, around about 96, I become a Tottenham fan because of Teddy Sheringham. Devastated when he left for Manchester United. But why did he leave? He went on to win things. There wasn't that same ambition that he felt at Tottenham. And this was a recurring theme, as I say, throughout the last 30 years anyway. Sol Campbell, the Worthington Cup wasn't enough to keep him, so he went to Arsenal to win bigger things, and he did. Oh, wait, you're talking about players like Berbatov. It doesn't matter, Carling Cup, they're going to go on to win bigger things at bigger clubs. And you look at some of the things that some of the Tottenham players have achieved throughout the years elsewhere, Gareth Bale, Luka Modric at Real Madrid. And you even got to a point now where kind of one of our own, Harry Kane, has had to go, do you know what, enough is enough. And I know it didn't work out for him in his first year at Bayern Munich, but this is the thing with Tottenham. You can't have a winning mentality within a club to the degree that fans expect when you are a selling club. And it's not just one man to blame. It's existed at Tottenham, as I say, for 30 years at least. So a consequence of being a selling club, you buy players when they're young, you develop them, they realise their potential, and then they're sold on, is that when you assemble a side that's got signs of being a good side, being I wouldn't say a great side, but second, third in the league in terms of Tottenham in recent modern times, that's a great side. Champions League final, but that needed reinvestment in 17, 18, 19, and that needed winners then. And that was the most realistic time, as I say time and time again, where we had the chance to attract a certain calibre of player, irrespective of wages. You're looking at a club that were heading in the right direction. Unfortunately, it came at the same time as the stadium transition. I think Tottenham froze with not having that mentality of knowing what it took to go to the next level. You can blame Levy, you can maybe blame Pochettino, you can attach blame to some of the players. But unfortunately, even with your Harry Kane, your Son Heung-mings, Dele Alli's there, Christian Eriksen's, now aside of Hugo Lloris, there's no winners in that side. So there's no reason for us to believe that team was ever capable of winning a Champions League final. So when you fast forward 5 or 6 years from that Champions League final and you realise the team needed investment then and it's progressively got worse, you kind of reluctantly have to reduce your expectation levels as to what you place upon this current group of players, because what winners do we have who are going to get us out of this mess that we're in? You've got Werner's won a Champions League with Chelsea, but he's not even a Tottenham player, and Tottenham don't even want him, fans don't want him at the club anyway. Fraser Forster's won a few trophies in Scotland. You've got, Romero for Argentina, but who's been there and done that in England? Who is going to lead this side out of the kind of tricky spell that we're in? There isn't anybody. The thing is, I can accept the reality of where Tottenham are right now. I don't like it, of course, but I've had to readjust my expectation levels. It's not what it was back in 2019. But yet when I see players who Tottenham are being linked with, or who fans think we should sign, sometimes I just think fans live with their heads in the clouds, or they've been playing too much FIFA or Football Manager. Like Lewis Hall is the perfect left back, basically, to step in for Destiny Udogie. In what world do we believe for 50 million he's going to want to leave Newcastle to come to Tottenham? And then on the opposite end of the scale, I kind of see this snobbery almost. Sam Johnson to Spurs is actually pathetic. Well, who do we think we're going to sign as a backup goalkeeper? In reality, who's going to want to come to Tottenham to be an understudy to Vicario, to sit on the bench, to not even win any silverware? Mateus Cunha, for example, it'd be a great signing for Tottenham. Of course he would. And it's not as if wages would be a stumbling block. What's he on, 80 grand? Something that Tottenham fans moan that we don't sign these players, all these great players, because of wages, maybe in some instances, but you've also got to assume that these players are queuing up to sign for Tottenham. Solanke to Tottenham, for example, I said it in the summer, is a realistic signing. All these names being touted, this world-class striker or that striker, it was always going to have to be a realistic striker as to someone who wanted to come to Tottenham at the time, a natural progression from Bournemouth to Tottenham, a side that finished 5th. Was he overpriced? Yeah, of course he was. He's English. He was ready-made. He'd come off the back of a good season. But whether we like it or not, this was realistic, and I actually think he's done okay this season. I just think we're so far detached from the reality of not just where Tottenham are right now, but from football in general when it comes to who we think we should be signing. When I did a video suggesting we could do a lot worse than signing someone like Jordan Henderson in January until the end of the season, to be a 20-minute man, to come on, put his foot on the ball, slow the game down, direct players as to what they should be doing, to be influence, a leader, not just on that pitch for that short amount of time, but in the dressing room, on the training pitch. He's got that winning mentality. He's got the trophies to back it up in England. But all fans say, oh no, he's a has-been, he's past it. 3 years ago, he weren't any good then, and blah, 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 because he's not glamorous. He's not a FIFA signing or a Football Manager signing or a marquee signing. But the reality is sometimes you've got to think of the short term. And these players need some guidance. They need a winner around them. And somehow you've got to kind of reinstall a winning mentality in the players, at least right now, to get us out of this at least mess that we're in the league. And at this moment in time, we badly need that. It doesn't have to be Henderson, but someone along those lines. But the thing is, people just scoff at it. Whether you're an elite manager like Conte or Mourinho, or fan favourite Pochettino, Nuno Espirito Santo's doing well at Forest, or even Postecoglou, the culture has been that at the club for as long as I know, as I say, at least 30 years. So it doesn't change overnight. And the only way you can attempt to change this is first if you readjust your expectation levels based on the current crop of players and accept that something needs time. It doesn't have to be Postecoglou, but something does need time to build an identity in its own right, to have everyone buy into this identity and then move forward together. Realise the potential of some of the players. Maybe then when you start moving up the league, and it won't be linear, the progress, you might be able to attract a few different players. And then you have to go back there again. Will it be a 2-year, 3-year process? Might be sooner. You might win a random Europa League or something. Who knows? But it's going to be painful. And the mentality of a club will not change off the back of one signing or this and that. It has to be something that is a process that is believed in. And fans, as much as anything, start kind of realigning our expectations with the current reality of where the team is.